this show seems oddly familiar.
Are you a ghost too?
I'm the ghost with the most, babe.
Don't worry, we'll get there. Hi, I'm Kitty Monk, and we're here to talk to you about The Ghost and Molly McGee. Odd, I've never discussed a show that isn't out yet. I did plan on reviewing it when it aired next month, but it's really been on my mind as of late. Why? I believe this show has the potential to be Disney's next big story-driven cartoon. Amphibia's airing its last season soon, The Owl House has at most a year and a half left, and Big City Greens only has continuity, not a full-on story. Besides, Starverses and DuckTales are dead and buried, as is Gravity Falls, and Wander Over Yonder. Most of their fandom shows are on the slaughter block. They need new meat, and we YouTubers need a new show to critique. I think The Ghost of Molly McGee might be that meat. Hopefully it won't be treated as harshly as Disney tends to do. When the footage they released, it gives me Starverses vibes, with a tiny bit of Owl House and Billy and Mandy, plus it has songs like Steven Universe. Despite all of this, Molly McGee reminds me of one obscure cartoon in particular. An outcast jerk with a heart of gold ghost bound to some outcast teenager? Where have I seen that before?
Whoa. I might have spun the wrong way, though.
No pun intended, but come on, it really feels like a spiritual successor to Beetlejuice. Anyway, what's the show about? Well, it's about Molly McGee. Duh. Molly is a happy-go-lucky kid, but her family moves around a lot. She really reminds me of Charlotte from Making Fiends. Eventually, they move into a house that's being haunted by Scratch. In not so many words, Scratch is Squidward, where instead of wanting to be left alone, he wants to unleash his rage on other people. To be fair, I didn't like Scratch's name at first. It just reminded me so much of Senor Scratchy. They likely did it because Old Scratch is another name for the devil, so I can see the intent.
I curse you, Molly McGee! Wherever you go, whatever you do, I'll be there.
If Scratch's voice sounds familiar, it is. He's voiced by Dana Schneider. I only bring it up because that dude is in everything nowadays.
And banned from the bathroom? Every bathroom. No!
You gotta wash your hands before you pick a baby up. He can see the bacteria burning into his flesh.
Let's let nature take its course on this motherfucker.
He was also in the Patrick Star Show and the Thundermans, but less of those shows the better. Molly is voiced by Ashley Birch. Like Dana, that chick is in everything nowadays.
Are you asking me why people eat potatoes? I'm surprised you don't know, sir.
Not wanting to reenact Good Neighbors, Scratch curses Molly, but it backfires. Like Grimm, he's bound to her forever, or I guess until Molly either moves out or dies. It's a kid show, so I'm guessing the first one. From the looks of it, it seems like Scratch is gonna try and screw stuff up for Molly, however he can, but then forms a bond between them, where he slowly learns what it means to care for someone or have someone care for him. The first episode is all about Molly's first day of school, and it seems like Scratch will try to ruin it or make her miserable, but then realize what he's doing wrong and try to fix things. I sense he'll eventually get the opportunity to leave Molly, or betray her, but then do everything in his power to stop it because he's grown to care for her. I actually love this dynamic. It's something new. Story-driven Disney shows always have that one older jerk character. Uncle Stan, Scrooge McDuck, Queen Moon, Ida, Hop Pop. Usually they have to take care of their wards because, and they might be lazy or resent them a teeny tiny bit, but we know they care for them at the end of the day. Scratch doesn't seem like he'll be any of these characters at first. After all, he wants nothing to do with Molly, but he's still forced to interact with her. This could be really interesting. Like these other characters, it seems like Scratch will have a sad backstory. He's a huge outcast. We don't know for what reason, but the question of why Scratch is haunting the house, or what made him so mean in the first place, could be one of the series' longest running mysteries. I do wonder if the show will undergo Cerebus syndrome, like the Owl House did, or if it'll be like Starverses where it keeps the happy-go-lucky tone, but has a deep moment here and there. I do want to know, in this world, why do ghosts exist? Or how well known are they? Are there different kinds of ghosts? Can Molly tell people she has a ghost living in her attic? Or is that taboo? Can Scratch be seen by people or just Molly? And if the latter, why? Does Molly have a special gift? Is she strange and unusual? Is Scratch gonna be kept hidden? Is he barred from the afterlife, or can he take Molly there? There's so much potential! If I did have to give the show one nitpick, it's that, well, it's following one cliche I've noticed in a lot of Disney shows as of late. An adorable, sugar-high main protagonist, or fun-loving, spunky protagonist, who will be put for the ringer and mature. It's crazy, but think about how many characters this applies to. Finn, Steven, Luz, Star, Adora, and Maple. Pretty much every protagonist in Infinity Train. I guess you have Adventure Time to blame for that, but just once can the main character not be that way? Still, there's one more reason I point to the show possibly doing really well. The fact it got renewed for a second season ahead of the premiere. Sure, this is typical of lots of cartoons, but to me, it's a sign Disney has faith in the show. I don't see it being anything too crazy, but I thought DuckTales would just be purely episodic. We can only hope.